All right, guys, we are down here in Atlanta, Georgia. If you guys haven't caught a few videos ago, we got sponsored by Can-Am. They sent out a 2025 Outlander 1000, and we figured we'd start out right with a build on the machine. We got some cool parts coming with it, but step number one was coming on down to Cullen's shop, and Cullen's been hard at work on getting these things prettied up. So after 5 years of YouTube, I finally bought these fun little mics, and Luke's been begging me to use them forever. So Cullen, I need you to, come here.
What?
Luke's brand new mic's dropped. You ready to be on video?
Yes.
If you guys don't know, this is my buddy Cullen. He owns Glass Life Atlanta. And what do we got working on today?
What do we do?
Some boring projects in here. Hold on, we got a boring Outlander, a boring race car. So the reason we're down here is I let Luke take the reins on the Outlander build. Luke wasn't satisfied with the shiny finish on the gray. You told me that we could do matte PPF. And if you don't know what PPF is, it's a film that goes on your plastics or paint or vehicles, which is majority of what he does. Basically, it's a self-healing film, protects it from scratches. So far, Luke has not let me ride this thing at all, and it came on right down here to Glass Life at Atlanta to get the matte PPF finish. Essentially, Cullen, what do we have, a big old sticker on this thing now?
It's something like that. Like he said, it is satin paint protection film. This is self-healing, so when his boots scuff across it, you can park it out in the sun, and the heat from the sun will make the scratches go away. There were no patterns at all for this thing, so basically every angle you see we had to make, but it's why we do what we do. We do a ton of custom stuff that there are no patterns for, and people ship us stuff from all over.
So we are for sure the first Gen 3 Outlander to be changing the colors up to a matte finish, as well as getting some PPF on this machine. Typically, Cullen doesn't really do four-wheelers and side-by-sides. Had to call in a friend favor, especially considering you haven't even opened his new location here yet. Literally finishing up renovations and whatnot to get going. We've got some cool things in here. We've gotten this done so far. The dually got some love. It's got some Cletus cars in here. This is going back with us and getting torn down. We got lots of parts at the house, and all the red's going away. We got a new seat cover, get everything repowder coated, and we're getting rid of this bumper because Luke loves it so much.
No, I don't.
So if you're in the Atlanta area, you got something cool, like a car or truck, and you want to protect your investment, get up with Glass Life at Atlanta, get some PPF installed on your products. And even if you're not in Atlanta, if it's something really cool, they'll travel to you, come pick it up, get it right, and take it on back to you. So without further ado, we're gonna get the Outlander loaded up, get on back to Charlotte, and get this build started. All right, so we're back from Atlanta. This thing now has its fresh PPF coat on it, and that was the first step, and the easiest step for me, because all I had to do was drop it off to Cullen and then pick it back up. Now we gotta start wrenching on some stuff, and this is where I'm pretty happy that Luke's kept me from riding this thing. We are up to a whopping 4.6 miles on this, and none of that has been off-road. That's just been moving it around the property.
Like every nook and cranny is just, it's still brand new. I think the matte PPF was definitely the moves. It was scary at first, but seeing it in person and on video, it looks really good.
So the next big step is to get things ready for powder coat. We already got the arms getting powder coated at S3 Power Sports. We gotta get this emblem off. We gotta get this off to get repowder coated. This front bumper we are no longer using. We're gonna relocate the winch to down here where they have it on the XT, which we've actually ordered this front bumper, and they go all the way around, which is probably a better idea for me because I like to run into things, so protecting the plastics is pretty important to me. And honestly, me and Luke are not a fan of this look. I don't really love this bumper. So this will be getting stripped down and repowder coated. We have the seat. Oh, and I have that carbon fiber.
Look at that. Oh, that looks cool. That's so much better.
I wish all the parts were that easy to change out. But we also have some fresh stickers because when we did the PPF, we had to peel all the Can-Am stickers off. So these are all the fresh stickers for the plastic. So typically we work on stuff over there in that corner of the shop, but for this project, we're gonna do it here because it's probably gonna sit here for the next 2 weeks while everything's getting powder coated and new wheels and tires get here and the lift kit. But without further ado, let's start stripping her down.
Whoa. We're stripping her down? What do you mean by that? That is huge.
That thing is literally a brick. All right, now I see what you're saying by powder coating that black.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not a black. Oh my God!
Luke's face literally went. All right, That's one shock off. So now that we have that shock out, we get to go do the exact same thing to the other side. All right, rear end is apart. We got the rear shocks off. They still have to get broken down to get powder coated. And last but not least, we got the front shocks to pull. Should just be the same thing. Pull the tires off, bolt up top, bolt at the bottom, pull the shocks out, and then this sucker can sit here for the next 2 weeks while everything gets powder coated. And lastly, we finally got the last shock out. Got all 4 shocks out, bumpers off. I think we're good to go. You know what Joe Johnson says, powder coating wheels, it's a build. All right, back from the powder coat shop, getting the last of the stuff here. So we've got everything powder coated now. Finally have the springs back. So we got the front and rear bumper powder coated. We've got the beadlock rings powder coated, the rear bumper powder coated. We got the springs powder coated. I think these are gonna look really good once they're mounted up. So you might be wondering where these beadlock rings came from. So we went and reached out to Bull Light and got a set of wheels sponsored for the Gen 3 build, and tell me what, these things are dang good looking. Renegade stock OEM wheels are one of my favorite beadlock wheels, but I definitely think I like these a lot better. And they're a little bit lighter, way stronger. Nice black wheel, simple. So thank you again to Bull Light for sending some wheels out for the Gen 3. I'm excited to see how they do. And if you guys are looking for some beadlocks for your machine, make sure you go check out the link in the description for Bull Light wheels. I'm excited to go torture test them and get the wheels mounted up. Last thing we gotta do is pull that front bumper off, get everything mounted up, the springs remounted, and then put our new suspension on, which brings me to my next point.
Speaking of suspension, oh, wow. Speaking of suspension, we got the best of the best. We got S3 Power Sports upper and lower A-arms. They're actually a 2-inch stretch forward and backwards, and I think a 1-inch lift. So with the stock arms, you can fit 32s, no floorboards, no arms, no nothing. With the high arch S3 arms, you can actually run 34s stock. No floorboards, no cutting, no trimming, no nothing, just with the S3 arms. Speaking of 34s.
The Gen 3 Outlander will be the first machine that we've ever ran on 34s. As you guys know, the blue and white Renegade as well as Luke's Titan Renegade are both on 32s. And 34s are a pretty big step up. A lot more weight, a lot more ground clearance. Pretty stoked for it. But we've had a lot of people asking about where has the blue Renegade been. And by the view of it, Luke?
No, she's getting the whole tear down, you know, exhaust is coming off. We're gonna either replace this or clean it. All these are getting replaced. She's about to come back as a new machine, a new breed. There's a lot more to it. You can actually go check out last week's video. We tore down this whole thing, and go watch last week's video, it's really good.
But yeah, back to 34s. So first hiccup we've had with this G3. We're getting ready to head to Lake Fest in 3 days. We were timing it really close on 34s coming in because for the first time also, I'm getting my tires scooped and grooved. If you don't know what that means, what happens is they'll cut out of the tread and out of here rubber to lighten up the tires, and especially on a 34. These 32s are heavy, 34s are even heavier. So getting my 34s scooped and grooved was a great idea. But my buddy Justin down in Texas that is actually scooping and grooving them ended up in the hospital, so he's not gonna be able to have them to us in time, which is totally understandable. We're still gonna make something happen. I got another set of 34s ordered, and I'll just sell them once I'm done with them, once I've got my scooped and grooved tires. I think first off, I need to get these S3 Power Sports arms unboxed. I'm excited to see them. Dustin and his team killed it on building these things. They took their time making them and got them completely dialed in. All right, next up is the front suspension. Okay.
It's like Christmas in July.
I know, I'm excited. Fun fact, our first trip down to Texas and Sabine for Mud Nationals 2024, we got to meet up with Dustin, the owner of S3 Power Sports, tour the whole facility, hang out with him for the day. We did a Cajun crawfish boil and hung out with all his boys. So it was a great experience. So since that time, we do a lot of stuff with Dustin, and they make some super top-notch stuff that is nearly indestructible, even though I'm still gonna put that to the test. But I think I will completely destroy this bike before I bend one of these arms. Under the case that I ever did, they do have a full lifetime warranty, which is super nice. So we got everything unpackaged, unboxed, and ready to get assembled. We've got to get the A-arms off the front and the rear. Finally, we can get rid of this ugly front bumper that Luke hates, and we're gonna go ahead and relocate the winch. This bumper will replace this bumper, which is kind of more of the original style. Honestly, I'm not a fan of how far this sticks out. I think it looks a little silly, and I have a strong feeling I'm going to hit something with this and break a headlight. So that bumper is definitely more my style. We're gonna go ahead and get the hubs off, steering off, brakes off, pull this whole thing apart. I don't need to pull the axles out, and I'll go ahead and show you guys why we're doing what we're doing. Okay. Front suspension is off, but you know what's really nice? Working on a brand new machine that's never seen the mud. Typically, the ground's covered in dirt, I'm covered in dirt, bolts are stuck and rusted, and this is like spotless. Except for the little bit I drove it around the yard. If you don't know the story behind this, we picked up a Can-Am sponsorship at the beginning of this year, and they sent out this Gen 3 Outlander 1000 XMR. So we basically got all of our fun out of the way on the one that I had, then we got rid of that and got this one as a freshie, and I said before we ride it, I want to build it. But since it's a brand new machine they just came out with, we kind of are stuck waiting on people to develop parts and come out with things for it. This A-arm set from S3 Powersports is actually the second set ever produced. Our buddy Cruiser has the first set. I've got the second set, so we were waiting on that. Then we were talking about doing tune stuff for it. Anyway, we've been waiting for parts for this for a while because nobody really had anything out for it yet. It was kind of hard to do a build video without having anything to build except for doing powder coating stuff. So I hate that we waited this long, but to be fair, it's been hot as crap for all summer, so I haven't really been that stoked about riding, because now it's finally getting into August. We're cooling down a little bit. We're ready to have a new build to rip for the rest of the season. So to give an example of what these A-arms do and how they make 34s fit, your stock suspension comes out right here. What the S3 arms do is it moves everything forward 2 inches. And you can really see it when you lay it on top. Oh, wow. These bolt holes are the same. Let's see how it moves everything forward 2 inches. So getting everything forward 2 inches gets it away from this. And then additionally, the arch right here is significantly more with these. So we have more flat and then it drops down harder. So this thing should literally walk almost everything out there unless it's on portals. And finally, that front bumper is off. Honestly, if I wasn't a reckless driver that breaks things, I would totally destroy that front end if I did that. So we're gonna go ahead and put that bumper on. Hold on.
Hold on here. So I was looking on Facebook, right? And this guy, Rubber Down Customs, he makes the custom aluminum plates. He does like any type of color or cover or logo or whatever you want.
Dude, that color with the gray looks great. Yeah, that looks way better than factory where they just have that silver plate there. All right, I got excited with putting the front bumper on. Now I want to put this on. And Luke bolted this on. All right, snorkel too. That's gonna look good. And then you're gonna have the front.
It's gonna look good, dude. It already looks good.
Then we're gonna have the front suspension with the blue too. That sucker's gonna look mean. So we just had to change the preload on the springs, and so far I've only done one of them. I moved this jam nut down 1 inch. So before I had 5.5 inches, now I have 6.5 inches. And what that is doing is giving the machine a little bit more lift, but mainly to keep the tires from ripping out the headlights. Because with 34s, once those go in there, so you don't want the lug of the tire coming up, grabbing that and ripping it out when you come down out of like a wheelie or something. So we're gonna go ahead and give ourselves about 1 inch of lift. We gotta get the winch put back on. We gotta get the rear bumper on. I need to put the exhaust back on. So we still have the factory exhaust, and we looked at some different options, and ultimately, you guys know we've worked with RJWC in the past. They've been great to us, so we're gonna hold out and wait. There is one in production. It's going through testing right now. It's just not finalized yet. So we're holding out. I'm gonna run the OEM exhaust for a little while. We will end up with the RJWC when it comes out. For now, we're running the stock exhaust, but what we did do is we took the heat shields off and had them powder coated black, because they're kind of an ugly, just like galvanized color, I guess I would call them. So I think it looks a lot better, blacked out now, hides it better, and is gonna look sick once we have the new dual exhaust coming out. So one thing we are doing with the stock exhaust, pulling the spark arrestor off, because these little cones get clogged full of mud and then it can't get that exhaust pressure out. So in North Carolina, we're not required to have them. And that goes right back on there. And that's just gonna keep the mud from clogging up that. And it's got 4.6 miles on it. We got 2.1 hours and 4.6 miles. So braking period's literally gonna be at Busco this weekend. But here's the stock parts we have left over from putting the A-arms on. Got a few miscellaneous bolts. They sent us new ones. I didn't forget to put them in. We're gonna go ahead and put the stock tires back on just to make it over to PE. I think that is gonna be a sharp looking setup, especially once we have our 34s. But before we head to the dealership, we got one last thing we gotta install. I've actually got a Can-Am audio roof for the Defender sitting over here. So I got this thing unpackaged the other day, and we gotta pull the OEM roof off the Defender, put this thing on, so we got a little bit of music for Busco this weekend. We've had the Defender Limited for the last year, and it's been a great machine. I'm pretty stoked to finally get the OEM roof off. We've got this stuff all pulled apart. We've got the new JL audio roof with 4 6.5-inch speakers, a really nice display unit, and a built-in amp. We got to go ahead and get the power wire ran for this unit. But now we will no longer have a headliner. We will have a nice audio roof, especially for when we are at these events like Busco and it's nighttime and we're not filming and we want to rock out to some music. We finally got an audio roof to put on this Defender Limited. So without further ado, before we head to Lake Fest with the G3, let's go ahead and get these wires moved, get this audio roof on, and get everything loaded up to head to go ride. All right, we've got it all finished up. But for not having a sub, this thing has some good bass, and I'm excited to finally have some audio in the Defender for really anything we do. Anytime we go to Busco or to go ride or even around the yard, it's nice to finally have audio. So going with the Can-Am audio roof, could not go wrong with that thing. Super easy to install, high quality. Sounds great. Well, that being said, I'm pretty stoked to finally have that audio roof from Can-Am and ready to take this thing over to Busco. Now that we've pulled up to Performance East, I can get my new wheels and tires mounted up. It's gonna look good. We also have a set of the brand new Aztec XXs here. And I would have installed these on the Gen 3, but so far these only come in a size 30 because they're a prototype tire. They will be coming out in 32s and 28s soon, and then following 34s in the future. At that point, I'll probably get another set and switch these from Sassy's to the new tires from Aztec because these are significantly lighter than Sassy's. But for now, we're gonna probably put these on the Gen 2 Tall Snorkel Outlander because these stock cryptids are not cutting it, and we have a snorkel race to participate in next week's video. Go ahead, pull this into the shop, get it picked up, get the tires off, get these new wheels all mounted up, and get the Gen 3 finished up so we can go ride. Time for new tires, boys and girls. All right, so these are the 34s. I've actually never ran 34s before. Compared to a 32, it's a pretty good difference. So we're gaining an extra inch of ground clearance that you would not have with 32s. They look a little narrower, but I think that's just because they have no air in them. All right, that's a 34. So we got the 30-inch Aztec over here. Oh crap, 34s are heavy. All right. Oh, these are gonna look good. So next time you see the Gen 3 in a video, I'll have to actually dismount these tires because I actually have a set getting scooped and grooved, and that's where they cut extra rubber out. And then right after this ride, I'm literally selling these tires, but also we're putting in these silver bolts now because my black bolts have not arrived yet. So these will have to do for the weekend. And when we get the new tires, I'll go ahead and mount up the new black B-lock bolts, which I think are gonna look way better.
What you think? Oh, all right, you little thief.
Give me back my bolts. Hey, you know where these bolts go actually? All these guys sitting here watching. I need to be a manager of this place so I can tell you guys what to do. Give me back my bolts. Oh, that's gonna look good.
Dude, those are freaking huge. Look at them next to it, look.
Hold on, it's jacked up and they're still taller. Is it gonna fit? Wow, those are like... So we went and grabbed the scale out of the parts department. Stock wheel and tire.
51?
51 pounds on stock wheel and tire. 77?
77, 76. That's a heavy tire.
So that's like, so 25 pounds per corner. We got an extra 100 pounds in just tires. But now for the ultimate test, are these things gonna fit? All right. Tire number 2. So going from 30s to 34s, we gained 2 inches of ground clearance in the tires. I have the springs cranked up an inch, so we have another inch of ground clearance there. So I don't recall, I gotta look it up. The arms might be an inch of lift. So we got some ground clearance, boys.
All right, so we have this Gen 2 XT. It's not a mud model, it's just your trail cruiser. Oh my God. Bro has drag.
Dude, your tires are a little bald. Oh, I think you're missing a bolt or two.
All right, total ground clearance on this thing.
10 inches.
10 1/4, 10 1/8. Now let's see a Gen 2 Outlander on 32s.
We got 13 and a half.
Yeah, probably 13 1/2.
That's not bad.
I'm guessing like 1.5 feet over here.
We had 10 and then 13 and a half.
Bro.
Brother. 19?
Like 19 inches of ground clearance.
So 9 more inches over what that has.
So yeah, if you want the ultimate ground clearance, get you a Gen 3 with some S3 arms. You'll
And 34s.
some 34s. You'll clear some.
You could probably slide a 5-gallon bucket under there. All right, enough messing around. We got 2 more tires to put on, and then we got 2 more things to do to this, and then we can be done and go ride. So before we put these back tires on, I do want to mention if you have a Gen 3 and you do get a set of aftermarket wheels, and they are what we call square setup, which is when the width and stance of the front tire is the same as the back tire, make sure you add a 1-inch spacer in the back, because if not, the back is going to sit in a little bit because the factory wheels have a different stance. They're staggered. So we bought 4 of the same wheels so that we can rotate our tires, and also with these S3 arms you actually have to run the spacers because the inside of the 14-inch wheel will rub right here. All right, so now that we got the wheels and tires all mounted up on the G3, we have got 2 more things to do. First, we got to clean up the plastics, and Luke's got to reapply the new stickers that we removed. Because of the PPF job that we did at the beginning of the video, we pulled the stickers off. So we got to put the stickers here and on the back. So that's the first thing, the stickers. So the last thing, if you've got an XMR G3 850 or 1000, listen up right now. All the dealers have a free warranted new tune for these machines. There's been a lot of issues with people having the G3 stalling underwater. Actually, me, David Ostercruiser, and Dustin Jones have had a lot of conversation with the Can-Am techs about the issues with these machines stalling underwater, and they've addressed it. They've written a new tune, and they sent it to all the dealers for everybody to get them uploaded. So if you've got a G3 Outlander, call up your dealer, schedule a time to bring it by, get the new tune installed, and that'll fix your stalling underwater issues.
Should be able to idle underwater. We will be putting that to the test.
With our 4 hours, 2 hours, whatever it's got, 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours on this motor.
Never seen dirt.
No. Usually we always kind of ride them stock, get them all dirty, and then upgrade them. It is pretty nice, and I would like to do this more in the future of just like not even touching it and just making it like just full out brand new, not a speck of mud on it. It is pretty nice.
So with all that being said, get your stickers installed. I've got a little side quest. I got to throw a front diff in my buddy Walker's Renegade while it's here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick while Luke is doing the tune and the stickers, and then we'll see you guys at Busco.
Yep. I'm stressing right now. Dude, look at the sweat. We got 1 shot at this because we don't have any spares. Actually, I'm gonna let you do it. All right, I quit. Hunter's doing the stickers.
Like Luke said, one of the major issues we run into here is I love Can-Am, but they cheap out on their transfer tape, and then the letters do not like to stick to it. They use like 50-cent higher quality transfer tape. This would be way easier.
Dang, looks good.
Gotta get that concentration. You got that on camera.
I did. It's okay.
Look at that. We still got it turn out
Good
good.
recovery. Good recovery. Hey, good recovery. Solid.
That's $500.
All right. Well, I don't know.
$500?
Yeah, $500.
No.
With this update, it ups the idle, so when they hit the water, you get like that real quick cool down. The engine wants to idle down because it's cooling off drastically, and this new update will keep it idled up where it belongs, so you're not going to have any issue with water coming in the exhaust pipe of the four-wheeler.
Alrighty.
No updates.
She's good for deep water?
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's all good to go. Like we said, it brings the idle up so you are able to go underwater without it shutting off. Kind of a big issue, but again, these are brand new four-wheelers, brand new platform, brand new everything. Kind of have to figure out stuff as you go, but luckily it's fixed. It is a free update. Go to your dealership, go to any dealership. If you have an XMR and you plan on going deep and you don't want your engine to shut off underwater, get this update.
All right, all done. Got the front diff in for Walker. Got it done in 45 minutes. I was asking the shop what they normally charge. He said on paperwork it says 2.5 hours to do that job. 45 minutes, I was cooking. I do have some oil on the ground I gotta clean up, Danny. Sorry for getting your bay all dirty. But Danny, shout out to you for having this amazing fan, because it is literally 90 degrees in here and that thing's amazing. I think all in all, we are ready to head to Busco. So without further ado, catch you guys out there.
Flipping the script for my old ways. Flick up the switch, I'm in flow state. Commas, I'm going through grown pains. I wasn't used to shit being so gross. I tighten the threads out of crochet. I wake up the cushion, some OJ. The last tape I dropped was a Rollway. It's yellow, I swear it's a Coldplay. Viva la vida, I'm swiping the Visa. We working, I'm taking off no days. Cause we throwing shots like a gun range. Till we finally make it to front page. A head full of dreams, some bread for the schemes. A heart that been feeling like it's a machine. I'm pushing extreme, cause I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the beautiful sun is going down, so we're running out of that crispy montage shot. So we are gonna wrap up the video today on the G3, but you do have to stay tuned for next week's video because tomorrow we're gonna be filming, showing off how these 34-inch Assassinators do. I love the look of those Bullite wheels. They look great. The powder, Luke called it. Perfect amount of powder on this whole entire build. Between the Bullite wheels, the S3A arms, like those things are just beefy and look sick. I'm glad that we went away with the other bumper and went back with a stock bumper. The PBF is amazing. The matte color is beautiful. Now seeing this thing, because I'm so used to seeing it in the shop, seeing it next to a regular machine, like this thing just looks so much better. All this going on right here, so good looking. So all that being said, huge shout out to S3 Power Sports for this suspension. We would not be clearing the 34s without you. Huge shout out to Bullite wheels. I love these things. I'm glad I have a beadlock again, so I don't have to worry about tire pressure. Best down powder coating for always hooking it up on our tight timelines with getting stuff powder coated. Can't forget our boy Rubber Down Customs for the custom nameplate on the front. If you're looking to do something similar or anything you want, he can cut anything you want. So there will be links in the description for everybody. And two more things. First shout out is Can-Am Off-Road for pulling us onto the team, sending out this unit and doing some awesome stuff with us this year. Of course, we got to thank PE for always dealing with our BS, coming in the shop, using it like it's our own home. They're awesome to us. They always treat us great. Performance East always hooks it up as an awesome dealer for us. So if you're looking for a dealer in the North Carolina area, please consider Performance East. They always hook me up, and I love to see that they hook up the customers. With all that being said, it's been a great time building this thing, but I'm excited to go ride it tomorrow. So be on the lookout for next week's video. We post every single Wednesday. If you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button and let us know in the comments, what do you think of the color? Are we powder coating the G2 Renegade the same color, or are we going with the Illusion Blue? And again, this is only phase one. We still have cut chassis, got some secret headlights coming out. We got an exhaust for this thing. It's gonna be a minute until we have everything. This is phase one. I'm happy to be riding it finally. So drop down in the comments what else you think we should do to it, and be sure to check out next week's video for the full ride breakdown of the G3 Outlander 1000 XMR. And like I said, we post every single Wednesday, so if you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys next week. Did you know this was a fridge? And did you know there's Mountain Dews in here?
There's nothing in there.
What the
I drank the last one an hour ago.
I've been looking forward to this Mountain Dew for an hour.
Yeah, do something for your health.
Water.
Look, I hope
What
you're
brand
gonna
water is
slice and
this?
dice all of that and make it presentable. Look, the dunce cap.
Anyway, if you come here, they don't have any Mountain Dew.